Thank you for joining us on this little preview edition for the SCTS annual meeting in 2022. My name's Caroline Tulin. I'm one of the registrars, cardiothoracic registrars with Insure Hospital in Manchester. And we're doing the special preview to talk all about what ETHICON are offering us at the SCTS annual meeting. And obviously ETHICON have been very heavily involved in a lot of SCTS educational programs and supporting the ability to run them for many years. And this year they have a simulation suite, or I think we're calling it the simulation village because it takes a village, but also because there's so much on offer. And you may have seen it advertised on the registration page. There's a click link there that takes you through to registration box, and there's a whole load of times and dates, probably fewer than than they were at the beginning. But and so we would just want to talk a little bit about what's on offer. So I've got two people joining me here, both from ETHICON. So I've got Ruth Barcelo, who is a professional education manager at ETHICON, and also Alison Hellcraft, who's one of the marketing managers also at ETHICON. So we're just going to have a bit of a chat about the different things on offer with the Simulation Village.
I think just to give a little bit of background about why we're doing what we're doing at SCTS with the Simulation Village, and also other activities with SCTS regards simulation. We know that cardiothoracic surgery is a specialty which requires significant craft hand skills and eye coordination, which determines the outcome of the surgery and ultimately the patient. And we know that the pandemic has significantly impacted a lot of the trainees' training, along with other specialties. So we wanted to work with SCTS to really help support the trainees during this period, and simulation is one of the recognised ways that we can do this, which is hence why we are working with SCTS with the deanery rollout of simulation, but also bringing our simulation ecosystem, if you like, all the way to Belfast for different sessions of training for the trainees. Ruth, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, so I'd love to give a little bit more detail on what we actually got in the village. So you know, you can book on to a 90-minute slot. They're available throughout the Monday and the Tuesday. We're going to have a combination of our thoracic simulators. These are our Stupnik simulators. We're going to have Mr. Thomas Stupnik there himself, so the brain behind the simulator, to help guide through the different exercises that we've got. So there's a whole series of different modules that you can see to really help advance your core thoracic skills right through to the new segment module that's going to be looked at SCTS as well. In the village as well, we'll have additional faculty as well. So yeah, that's the thoracic side. And then on the cardiac side, we've got our anastomosis simulators, our aortic simulators. You can do aortic valve replacement as well as graft, and mitral valve as well. So, and again, we've got some great cardiac faculty to support, to really allow to help fine-tuning your anastomosis skills. So yeah, we've got 5 of the 90-minute sessions, which you can book in on the link. But if you haven't booked on the link, you can visit us at the stand and you'll be able to book into the session. I know it's a very, very busy couple of days. If you're not quite sure when you're going to have a free 90 minutes at the moment, then please come and visit us on the stand and we can book you into the session.
Yeah, that's excellent. I think that's the key thing, is sometimes it's difficult knowing when you want to, you know, because there's so much going on, when you'll have the opportunity to go. But I'd say it's worth having a look at the program, timetabling, like if you can, when you're going to be available, and then go, because they're 90 minutes. So when you're in there, and I suspect that when you're on the simulators, you'll just get so absorbed you just kind of want to use all of that time. And I think one of the really interesting things is also just to see what these simulators can do, because they've clearly advanced a lot over the last 10 years. Because I can remember back in the day starting out in cardiothoracic training, and you know, and there really was very little available in the, you know, in the world of simulation, and in terms of particularly like practical simulators, and they've just improved and improved. And I know you guys have run a competition over several years. Some of these simulators as a result of those competitions, of people producing devices that then we can then practice our techniques on and things. You mentioned there Alison, that this has been introduced into some of the deaneries as well. What sort of responses have you had in there?
We've had such positive responses so far. I think we're about halfway through phase 1 of our rollout to the deaneries, and we will continue to do that this year. And then we will have a phase 2 as well. So what we know about simulation, it's about reproducible skills. So there's no good just using a simulator once. You need to use it again and again and again to advance your skills and develop your skills. So we will do a round 2 of the simulation rollout to the deaneries as well, but also working with our local teams to ensure that trainees have access to these simulators as and when they need them or want them. So we're really excited to partner with SCTS on this. And one thing I also wanted to mention around the simulation village, we're also going to have an area dedicated to wound closure and biosurgery. So if you're interested to see what we have in that arena, then please do come and visit the stand. And if anyone hasn't booked onto a session, you can actually just visit the ETHICON stand or the simulation village, and people will be there with the iPads and they'll be able to tell them which slots are open.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so no need to panic. There's opportunities even once you get there. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. In terms of the deanery rollout, whereabouts are you at the moment in terms of which deaneries that you're supporting for the simulators?
I think Ruth has that detail.
Yeah. So like I said, we're about halfway through. So we're kind of focusing more on Midlands and Wales at the moment. So there's the next area targeted deanery. So yeah, we're working with the TPDs with SCTS to get some dates in and get this rollout completed. And again, kind of already looking past the next academic year, we're starting to refresh the deanery rollout again. So there's definitely popping up everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, so if it hasn't come to your deanery yet, don't panic, they're on their way.
Yeah, and also just to say, if when you see these simulators at SCTS, which we hope they will do, if it's something you want to have and you may not want to wait for it to come to your deanery and you want to have a look at it or a try on it beforehand, just reach out to your local ETHICON sales specialist or any one of us while we're there, and we can arrange that and we can absolutely organise that for you. So don't sit tight and wait, or if it has been and you really enjoyed it and found it valuable, you want to use it again, reach out to us, because if we have access to the simulators and they're not already in play, then we'll of course want to utilize them.
Yeah, and I noticed that on one of your websites you've got a whole series of some courses or online courses which are associated with the simulators as well. So is that something that people can kind of sign up for, or is that in association with the deanery stuff?
It is an association with the deanery, but you can do these courses as well. And it's something that you'll see at SCTS, like the different modules that you can go through.
Brilliant.
And actually, you mentioned before about how simulation has evolved. And even in the short time of the Stuxnet simulator being out and developed, it has come on leaps and bounds. And Tomasz Stuxnet has done an amazing job evolving all the different modules from all the way from the very flat lung to the very core skills, all the way to more advanced lobectomy skills, and now segmentectomy, and even to that the different material that we use within that silicone lung to make it as lifelike as possible.
Well, there you go. So much on offer, and it's all there for us to go and experience. So hugely appreciate the effort that you all put into bringing all these simulators, and not just that, but all the courses and the support that you've given to SCTS education over the years. It's very much appreciated by the trainees, and I'm sure this will be very much enjoyed as well by. So I keep mentioning trainees because obviously that's that's the pathway I've come, but this is for everybody. This is for everyone to go and experience, and so don't feel like you can't sign up for it if you're not training. That's certainly not the case. This is for everybody to develop the skills at every stage. So yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to my own booked in session at the simulation village.